Hello fellow creators, welcome or welcome back to Seed. Okay, so today's tutorial is on this baggy petal sleeve going on with two different fabrics. As you can see, there's an option for the overlap to show in the front or it to show at the back. So as you can see, I left it for the two of them to show because I think it just adds to the edginess of the dress. So yeah, if you want to learn how to make this, then make sure you keep on watching. So to start off, you want to ensure that you fold your pattern paper into two. Okay? And then once you do that, you want to mark 3 inches from the top of the pattern paper, like so. Mark it on the two sides so that you have a line like so. And then we're going to be marking our measurements from that line. Okay, so to mark the length of the sleeve, I'm going with 10 inches. So and I'm adding 1 inch for seam allowance, and then I'm doing it on the other side as well. And then I'm using a line, a ruler to create the line. And then after that, you want to go ahead to measure the width of your sleeve hem. So I went with 10 inches, as you can see, and then I just marked it on both lines so that I have that there. And then after that, what you want to do is I want to go inwards by 2 inches from the middle point there, like so on the top line. And then that is where we're going to be creating our sleeve curves. So to get the armhole curve, you want to get the pattern for the bodice of the dress that you want to add the sleeve to. So this was the pattern that I drafted for that. So as you can see, I had seam allowance at the shoulder line. So I'm just folding that in, and then I'm going to align the shoulder line with that 2 inches mark that I went in. And as you can see in the armhole, I'm just going to like spread it out a little bit just to accommodate for the curve that it has. And then I'm just going to make the mark there. So once I make the mark there, as you can see, I'm just going to connect the 2 points together like so, and we have the sleeve curve. Okay, so then after that, we're just going to go ahead to connect it together. After you do that, the next step is to connect the top of the pattern at the fold part to the sleeve pattern. So all you just need to do is just get your French curve and just try to find like a natural curve for that place. And we are making that extension because we want to be able to pleat it at the top just to give it more dimension, as you can see that it has as the final product. Okay, so once you're done with that, all you need to do is cut it out. So you will notice that that place is a little bit straight and edgy, so you want to curve it out. So once you're done with that, you should open it up, and this is what you should have. So you should have the sleeve already, but because it's going to be a petal overlap situation, we're going to be creating that overlap now. So in order to create the overlap, all you just need to do is go to the middle part of the sleeve pattern, as you can see, and then you want to ensure that your tape rule aligns with 5 inches. Okay, when you put your tape rule, the top of your tape rule at the middle part, it has to align with at 5 inches with the sleeve curve. I hope you understand what I mean. And then once you do that, you just want to mark it there on the sleeve curve like so. And once that is done, it's just now to connect that part to the outer edge, to the bottom outer edge of the pattern. Okay, so because I didn't want that place to be just like really straight, I decided to square that place out. So what I'm doing is that I'm just marking 1 inch, like I'm just making a 1 inch line outside from the edge of the of the pattern, so that when I turn it together with this long edged curve, that edge there is not going to be too like straight and like edgy. Do you understand? So yeah, that is just basically that for that, and all you just need to do is just cut it out and you have your petal sleeve pattern. Okay, so for when we want to cut the pattern on fabric, you want to notch that place because that place is going to be very important when you want to assemble all the pattern all the fabric pieces together. Okay, so make sure that you notch it on the pattern so that you will remember to notch it when you want to cut your fabric. Okay, so as you can see, I've cut out the fabric, and for the two sleeves, for the right and the left side, you have to cut 4 pieces each. Okay, so with this one, you can either cut it 2 pieces of your main fabric and 2 pieces of your lining fabric. But with this one, because it was see-through fabric tulle, I wanted it to be a case of okay, it's tulle overlaying the Ankara fabric. Do you understand? So I cut 4 pieces for the left side and 4 pieces for the right side. So the first thing that you're going to do is get your main fabric, the 2 pieces that you have for the left side, and then you want to join it together at the longest edge that you can see there. So for this part, if you are doing yours exactly like mine with the transparent fabric on top of the main fabric, you want to ensure that when you sew it, you either overlock it or you use a French seam to cover the raw edges. Okay, because the way we're going to be assembling it, that part is going to show, that seam is going to show. So you want to ensure that you either overlock it or better still use a French seam so that you cover the seam entirely. So that is what you want to do for the main fabric. But since it's two fabric, there's actually no need to do that, and you can just sew it since it doesn't fray and all of that. Okay, so once you do that, this is what you should have. Okay, so you should have one piece, and then you should have another piece in the main fabric, and we're going to be joining it together. So at this point, if you are working with just main fabric and lining, you don't want it to have this, transparent fabric on top of the main fabric, then all you just need to do is join the main fabric and the lining fabric together with the right sides facing each other and then bring them out, and you have that. But if you want to make yours like mine, first thing you want to get is the transparent fabric. You want to place it in a way that is the wrong side that will be facing your table, okay? So it's the right side that will be facing up, and then you want to do the exact same thing for the main fabric as well. You place the main fabric just like that. Okay, so while you're sewing, I'll suggest that you start at the middle part, you sew all the way to the edge, and then you turn it over and then start from middle part again and sew all the way to the edge. That is just to ensure that everything stays flat and things don't move around, especially because it's two different types of fabrics that we're working with here. Okay, so once you do that, you now want to turn it over to the right side and then just press it down. Just make sure that everything is laying flat there. I, did like a top stitch there, but I don't think I should have, because I think it just like doesn't make it look like as seamless as it would be. So it depends on you if you want to do the top stitch like I did, but I won't recommend doing the top stitch. Just leave it like this. As far as you pressed it down and everything is neat, that's really all that matters. Okay. Okay, so that's that for that. But for the top, you want to top stitch it, okay, so that everything will be just one piece at the top and at the bottom. Okay, so now that you're done with that, it is time to make the petal overlap situation. Okay, so at this point, what you want to do is that you want to turn it over like this. So you know that notch that we talked about in the beginning. Yes, this is the time that you need it. So what you want to do is that you want to first of all put the notch together and pin, and then once you do that, you'll be able to just align the armhole curve there for the sides. You just be able to align it together and then pin it down. Okay, you want to do this for the other side as well, and as you can see, you will have your sleeve already. Okay, so this is how the sleeve is. It's just that it has that extension because we added 3 inches at the top for the pleating, right? Okay, so once you do that, you want to top stitch again so that you have the piece already, like just one piece, and all the layers are connected. Okay, so as you can see, we are still going to have that distinct, so that we'll have that pleat that you just make it a little bit more structured at the top. So we're not going to be doing this pleat now. Is when we want to join it to this to the armhole. That is when we're going to be doing this. So as you can see, I had already made my dress and everything. It's a jumpsuit. The tutorial is going to come out very soon. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is that you want to put your jumpsuit with the wrong side facing outwards, as you can see that mine is, and you want to get your sleeve, and you want to ensure that the transparent part is the part that is outwards. And what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be joining that part there. Okay, that part that is directly below the sleeve head. We're going to be connecting it to the bottom armhole of the jumpsuit itself. Okay, and to do this, you want to ensure that you are joining the transparent part, the tulle part, to the right side of the fabric at the bottom armhole, like so. Okay, so I hope you understand what this means. So what you just want to do is just join them together, basically with the right side facing each other, and then pin it down. Okay, so once you join this to the bottom armhole, and then you're now going to go ahead to be aligning the rest of the armhole with the rest of the sleeve. Okay, do you understand? So just be aligning it, just be pinning it down, and just ensuring that the two layers are aligned. Okay, so once you now align it, when you almost get to the part where the shoulder connects, okay, the shoulder seam, you want to stop there, and then you want to do the other side of the armhole and the sleeve. Okay, so as you can see, I'd already gone to do those other sides, and now it is time to do the pleating that I talked about in the beginning. Okay, so what you just want to do now is just find a way to just arrange it. It take a time shot, and it take a long time trying to like maneuver it, but just take your time and try to make it and try to make the pleating on the armhole itself. Okay, so what that means is that you're not going to make the pleating aligned with the shoulder seam like so. Okay, so once you've done that, and once you think that everything is aligned, then you can now go ahead to pin. Okay, and once you finish pinning it down, then you're not going to go ahead to sew it round like you normally would with the sleeve. Okay, so I would suggest that you start at the top of the shoulder seam, like at the top, which is the shoulder seam, just to ensure that everything is uniform from starting from that point. So yeah, you just want to sew it round, and literally that's it. That is how to make this sleeve with this petal overlap detail situation going on. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I really do hope that you understood everything that was said in this video. You can still leave a comment down below and I will definitely reply you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.